Hello, I'm Wilhelmina. I'm currently finishing my first year studying English with creative writing, and here is my letter to Charles. Dear Mr. Causley, sometimes it is rhyme, sometimes it is prose, and other times it's a mix of the two that allows the creation of your poetry with a voice. Each one tells its own anecdote, so here's mine. At Tremo Gardens, there is a fine juxtaposition between life and death, a shift in contrast between beating radiance and decay. But what does this all mean? Is it trying to tell me that death is serene and that the brevity of life need not be so harrowing? Maybe it's a visual testament to the harmony between man and nature, both permeating time, blessing each in one another's presence. Or simply, it's a garden that just needs pruning. What's important is that it's imprinted with history. What may seem decrepit and of little worth is valuable because it fights. I look at the trees and I see wonder. They have seen so much change, both formidable and exquisite. From the political climate to standard of education, it's impossible to put into words the change undergone in the last 12 years. For example, did you ever think that we could achieve greater equality, beating the prejudice of former generations? Did you ever think that technology would impress itself so rapidly into our society that the interconnectedness between countries has grown far stronger than we could ever have imagined? That we could work together through debate and find agreements? That every day young people are speaking out on global affairs and being heard? We are striving even harder to teach people about past atrocities, how to ensure history's mistakes never repeat themselves. We show people that no one should be afraid to speak out against injustice. There is so much hope, and there is so much sacrifice. Amidst this change, Cornwall still has her spirit. Just as before, people flock to witness her beauty, to be swallowed up by her in their reprieve. They've been bewitched by the romanticism of the landscape, their senses enlivened to a point where childish fascination consumes all reason. I took a visit to your house, finding most furnishings as they had always been, laid in sacrament to you, for honour, for respect, for preservation of words. But I wasn't drawn to the comfortability of that lifestyle. I wanted the hills to scream with the heritage of the buried thousands, the history of Cornwall to crush on me like the passion of its people. But if I pressed my hands to the temples of the walls, I would only feel the unease of trespassing in one's home. In your poem, Sibyd's Well, you speak of spears and voices. I wonder, did you try to unearth history like the hidden well? What was it in the chill of Cornish air that beckoned you to resurrect the enigma of time? Such questions lie unanswered, whispered through the veins of the earth you once trod upon. It did, however, teach me something, being there, at the heart of all you loved. It showed me the individuality of writers. In this great mass of aspiring artisans, we might come in with predetermined notions of what we want to create, how and when. You and I may not share the same avid passions, but even so, we would write about them from different perspectives, with different styles that would easily appeal to split audiences. It's this that draws you and I together, not in competition, but in mutual agreement. We possess the same unadulterated desire to steal from our surroundings what we can and expel this through voice, words, language. Like nature, we work in a cycle of taking and giving. Write a poem about nature and you are instilling it with another life, heightening its beauty to no end. And even if you damn it, you are giving it characteristics, teaching others to accept that there is always more than one way to see the world around you. It's a lesson in respect, something we take for granted, but which is nonetheless valuable. And it is with this that I draw to my conclusion. Dear Causley, the writer, poet, friend, you may have moved on, ceasing to understand the changes in our society, but just as you rest within the earth, you are degrading, bringing life to the undergrowth. You continue to feed into nature, a cycle that never stops turning. So I say this. Texturize the soil with Morse code. Dapple alphabetical poems of rhyme into hidden treasures. Teach the roots to survive. Survive like the memory of one so literate as yourself.